Warning, this podcast has stories of real-life events and true crime that happens every day. These stories may contain adult language and graphic or disturbing details not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised.
132 in Bush, I've got him at gunpoint.
They're pulling them out.
911. Advise ready for camp.
Surprise, we're live.
Yeah. Hey. Hopefully we'll see if people jump in. We haven't told anybody about this.
Yeah.
This is just basically us testing it. And if you see us and find us, it is what it is.
You
If you
did with
don't,
locker room.
yeah.
And so we may have a point.
Sun Tzu says, hi.
We may have a point in the podcast where we can read live comments like Sun Tzu saying hi. Anyway,
so everyone who follows us on YouTube can see this because they get a notification. So they turn the notification on up in the whatever corner this is, or over here, or down here, or down here, or down here.
there you go. See, Chuck's
So they
explaining things. Go.
They can see it. So hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit the ding notification bell button, ding, and you can follow us for all new content. And when we go live, you will be notified. So don't be an idiot. Hit that button.
What's we got to do it the right way. I've watched enough YouTube videos from video gamers explaining for me to find, the secret code to unlock the door. So you got to go, what's up, everybody? Go ahead and hit that.
Dude. And then when you're done, you're like, all right, talk to you later. So stupid.
Oh,
How about just be like, see you later? What's up, YouTube family?
Yeah, please don't let us ever be those guys. Midnight Caller.
No.
Okay. Sun Tzu was the Midnight Caller. He's also a great philosophy person. So we are live. We are doing a live debrief because we said we were going to try and do guests are hard to do live. We have to clear it with them ahead of time that they're authors. Some of the authors are okay with it. Our last author that we had on who had some interesting family dynamics going on during the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, that's we're glad that wasn't live, right?
Yeah, because if that was live, we would have been here for about an hour and 30-40 minutes maybe. And
and hey, we don't always know what we're gonna get, right? We get a resume, we get some back and forth in email, and sometimes it's children in the background.
So like if we know the person and we know it's going to be quiet, we can do it live and there won't be crazy disturbances unless we have them. Right. But if we don't know the person, it's very difficult to be like, hey, let's do this live. Unless they're a single guy or girl and they're in their house by themselves, then we can kind of play it by ear. But other than that, it's very difficult unless we can control the outcome.
Right. So we are doing the podcast. This is this week's podcast, but we're going to try to do this going forward where when we have guests, it will be pre-recorded for the most part, but it will be played on YouTube when we can with the guest face. Sometimes with our guests, they don't want their face for operational security reasons shown or departmental reasons shown. Right. That's fine. We're going to make sure that doesn't get shown. But when we do the stuff where we can go live, we'll just go live. And if you guys apparently follow us, they'll get the notifications that we're live and you guys can jump in the comments and have fun, I guess. So here we are on our Saturday afternoon, and we're going to do this live debrief. So you brought us some. I've got one. I'm going to call an audible that I've got one I want to play as well. So we've got 2 videos. We're going to go with a third one as well that I'm bringing. So I have not seen 2. Chuck has seen all of them, but he doesn't know which is the third video that I'm going to bring to the table. So here we go. So let's start with our first one. And you can set this up for me. This is I didn't watch the video. I can only see the first image, and it looks like it's a camera doorbell cam. Yeah,
like a Ring camera. So basically, this was sweeping Instagram, and we got a couple messages on it, tagged in it, and it was like, what do you think about this? Can you do debrief on this? This is bullshit. So I watched the video. Basically, it's a father who calls in police regarding some male predator coming after his daughter. And so he calls, cops get there late and basically blame put the blame on the victim, his daughter, and he basically has to tell the cops, "Hey, get the fuck off my property," like whatever. And so we got asked to explain it. So if the video is going to be that, and we'll go through it, and it's honestly, yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay. Well, here we go. Let's here's the video.
Sprite's good, especially the Jolly Sprite.
Oh, you know, I lied to you. Do you ever see that Sprite challenge? They drink a bottle of Sprite and transfer burp.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, she's in bed now. It's too late now. She's already asleep.
Well, it still happened though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I just the whole point. I just wanted you guys to come over and talk to her. I mean, I just want her to realize what this was. I mean, in reality, there's not much you guys probably can do about it, is there?
I mean, she could probably get charged with child porn.
Who she can?
Mhm.
She's 11 years old.
She's creating it, right?
She's 11 years old.
Doesn't matter. She's still making porn.
No, she's not. She's being manipulated by a grown-ass adult on the
Is she
internet.
taking pictures though?
You guys have a nice evening.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Are you serious? Have a nice evening.
That's fucking days off. That's a complaint. That's bad. That's fucking. This is bad.
Oh wow.
What not to do?
Well, okay.
Fuck.
First of all, I want to know who approved them to go to that call at midnight. Right.
Honestly, they fucking probably made it a non-code, non-priority, and they were just lazy and took their fucking sweet time before it timed out.
Well, and also, that's a 6-hour window, right? Understandable.
Mhm.
But if it's a call of an 11-year-old, at some point somebody has to make a conscious decision to say, you need to go to this because the victim or the person involved is a child, and you can't go at midnight. Or you can't wake these people up in the middle of the night. You know, at some point, a watch commander or somebody has to make a command decision to say, hey, we're going to have to send somebody tomorrow morning because we don't have the resources to send somebody tonight before it gets too late. And then you have detectives go follow up. Right?
Yeah, and call the family and let them know, like, hey, we're having a hard time getting out. It's getting late. I know your child's probably going to go to bed. Can we set up a time tomorrow to send officers out, and we'll just send the detective straight to you? Sure, not a problem. Or come into the station and we can make the report here with your daughter in a more comfortable setting. But the way these officers reacted when they got there, and there was a lot of comments online, well, why were they smoking and joking? Like, okay, that's normal. When you come up to a call, you're smoking and joking, you're, trying to stay relaxed and calm and whatever. And then when the door opens, you can obviously see the father's mad. I feel for that guy, because if this was me and in this situation, I'd be pissed off as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tom would be. This is bullshit. And when they come back and say she could be charged with child pornography for sending fucking, well, first of all, pump the brakes. You don't, that's inexperience as an officer. That right there upsets me, because you can tell she has more than 5 years on the job, but she is so ignorant to the fact that if the child can't pass a Gladys R, she doesn't know right from wrong. And 11 years old, I can tell you, will not pass a Gladys R. A Gladys R is basically a yes or no if you can tell right from wrong. If you can't pass that, you can't, honestly, consent to sending nude photographs of yourself to a grown-ass fucking man. That's one called
intent.
No.
So for those of you who don't know, they use initials or first name initials in legal documents, and Gladys R was the name. So it's case law about the ability to form intent that applies in juvenile cases. And essentially, you ask the kids a bunch of questions in juvenile cases that involve confidentiality and involve their knowledge of right and wrong. And there's a bunch of different cases, and there's Gladys R is one of the forms you use. It's simple detective work, simple investigative work. That's very, very, very early academy stuff when dealing with juveniles. But you don't do it at midnight.
Yeah. No.
And you don't. And then as a patrol officer, you don't tell the father, hey, well, your daughter should stop sending nudie pics, shouldn't she?
Dude, I would have lost my fucking mind. I'd have been like, shut your mouth, get me your supervisor. Right. You're fucked.
Now
at that point, I'm like, you just dug yourself your own fucking grave. Now you're gonna hop in and I'm gonna fucking bury you with this shit, because that is unacceptable and not fair. You can't sit there and blame the victim, an 11-year-old child. And most people know that I'm always going to go for the side of the cop. They fucked up, and they're going to get in trouble for it.
As well they should. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So what's
that's
your
fucking
you're the boss. What's your level of what do you think the minimum that you would give somebody like this? Spotless record. If you were to chalk this up in the best case scenario where they were just having a bad day and they made some flippant comment to the dad because they were frustrated and hungry and had missed their code 7, what's the minimum you would give this person?
Well, if they owned up to it and they're like, yeah, I fucked up, I did it, I'd be like, all right. I would probably give them academy training, send them back to the academy, not like as a recruit or anything, but as in-service training.
Remedial
Because
training?
there's some in-service training that you can send people to that would be like, I don't know,
Not to be
months.
an asshole school.
Right. Investigative stuff, like how to properly investigate and probably go over a few like basic laws and stuff. You know what I mean?
Revisit some basic juvenile investigative work.
Make them work the juvenile table for the next 6 months,
Oh,
or a juvenile section of the agencies to learn, and tell them if it happens again, you're going to be suspended without pay, and go from
give
there.
them days off, huh?
No. I would say if it happens again, you'll be suspended without pay.
Right.
And then I would
like the second time you'd give them days on the beach.
Oh yeah. If the second time, if they did that shit again, and I would put them in a position where they're going to have to be stuck with juvenile stuff for the next 6 fucking months to finally hone their ability. So you're going to learn from your mistake. So, and you're going to go and apologize to that family. You're going to write a fucking written letter. You're going to squash it, say that you were in the fucking wrong, and you're going to send it, or, because that could be evidence, maybe just do it verbally and like bring them to the station, monitor it, do a verbal, like, type of thing, and then let them know this person's been reassigned to the juvenile section for the next 6 months to properly learn. Yeah,
interviewing
there we go.
Kids is not easy. It is a skill. There's even like there's Kate interviews, which are like the interviews you do when kids have been victimized by predators, kind of a thing. There's like good touch, bad touch interviews. There's an art form to it because kids will talk to you, but they because of their sense of right and wrong and good and bad and who's the good people and who's the bad people is so skewed. Their priorities and what you can get them to talk about or admit or divulge or disclose.
Yeah.
It depends on your ability to read what makes them tick. And, are they afraid of mom and dad? Are they afraid of mom and dad getting in trouble? Are they afraid of getting in trouble if mom and dad get in trouble? Like, there's so many layers to it. And so
it's so difficult too, because you have to talk to them in front of the parents.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah. So
very hard.
Juvenile crimes. Okay. So let's go with the next one. So why don't you talk to me about the next one? I know, like I said, when I downloaded it, I kind of got a little bit of audio from it, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Right. So this was a video that it was started blowing up a few days ago, and I posted it, and I'll just put the caption, "What are your thoughts?"
Mm-hmm.
Just for everyone to like. It was pretty fucking cut and dry, but I just wanted to stir the pot and just see what would happen, because when I get bored, I like to read crazy ass comments. Yeah, so I just said, what do you think about this shooting? I think they did a good job, and I gave them my point. And then it's basically a shooting video. LAPD responds to a call, and it's basically a burglary suspect there now. Suspect is armed with a knife. They get there, they physically see with their own eyes the knife. Talk to the suspect. Suspect now runs, and then subsequently there is a shooting that follows on after.
So here we go.
Hey, Adam, let me get it back up. Relax, hey, bro, drop it!
Supervisor camping near the chain.
Adam 81, got shots fired. Officer needs help. Okay. Reporting me code 6. 18.
Okay, I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
You just had a knife in your hand.
So what we're not seeing, there's a longer video that I don't have, but it shows them in the car talking about the call.
You just had a knife in your hand, bro. What are you talking about? You just had a knife in your hand, bro.
Okay, so this dude's walking out of, what is that building, Chuck?
It's an apartment complex that he does not reside at.
So he's walking out of apartment complex. What called them there?
It was a radio call of a burglary suspect there now, armed with a knife.
Right. So now,
trying to break into
what are
residence.
you thinking as you get out? You're saying the longer video, they can see him with a knife in his hand?
They are in the car and they're looking at him and they're
Mhm.
reading the call real quick, going over it, talking a little bit of tactics type of style. As they're exiting the vehicle, pretty slow. Like they didn't hop out fast, you know what I mean? And they see him, and then you can already tell that they see the knife here. So as they were walking up, that's when they observe the knife on his person.
Okay, here we go.
You can see it right there. I mean, it's in his left hand or his right hand.
Well, I mean, that my assumption, I wouldn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't know what it was. I'm going based on the officer saying, I see the knife in your hand, you know? So
Yeah.
that's,
I mean, you see it when he,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on, he's got a knife.
And this guy sees it. He sees it right here.
You just had a knife in your hand, bro.
Yeah.
You just had a knife in your
You're
hand,
walking
bro.
with it.
Hey,
And then he leaps, about to get on the radio. The kid's going down the handicap ramp, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's foot bailing. Like, this is it. Like, he took 2 quick steps and he's about to grab it.
let me get it back.
Yeah. Oh shit! Come back my way. I'll fuck that part.
He comes around the switchback of the handicap ramp, which takes him towards the officer, right? But the officer's on the outside on the sidewalk. So imagine there's only this wrought iron gate between the two of them.
Hey, bro. Drop it.
Textbook.
Adam 81, got shots fired. Officer needs help.
Beautiful.
Okay. According to code 6, 18.
Okay, here's what I want to continue with the rest of this, but these are the moments. I don't mean to laugh, but what is this guy thinking?
He's an idiot.
What is he thinking?
It's funny because they're so stupid.
Like he runs straight at the police officer, and the cop sees the knife, and he's got his gun out, and did he think he was going to outrun the bullets? Did he think
No, there's only one reason.
Or was he really trying to stab the cop?
Yeah, he just wanted to fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, these fucking gangsters are crazy.
All right, so we'll go back.
Like,
Adam 81, shots fired, officer.
Okay. According to code 6, 18. Malden. Yo. Hey, bro, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Melvin and Bermuda.
I got it, bro. Just hold on.
And even
Here, let's get
the officer needs help. 20 Melvin, officer needs help. Any disturbance on Debrief.
Hey, bro, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Drop the knife, man.
Here's what I want to
Adam
He's
81,
on the
we got
ground.
suspect down.
So I don't understand. When they say drop the knife, they need to be clearer. They need to say, give commands like throw the knife away.
I don't think this dude can.
Well, yeah, there might be that factor. But
Yeah. And
he's got something in his hand. Now, here's the thing. Again, as I'm looking at this, I can't tell you 100% that's a knife. Right?
hey, it looks like a knife.
Could
to
be
me.
a remote control. But here's the
Okay.
deal. If I get dispatched to a guy in gray pants and a black long sleeve jacket or shirt holding the knife, and then this squirrely dude comes charging at me with it at the low ready like that, I'm not gonna.
He's holding it in with a stabbing grip.
Yeah.
No one holds a pen like that. No one holds a remote like that. You only hold a knife like that. You know, now if you just had it and it was in your fist, it's totally different, but it's sticking out or sticking out this way, and you're coming up or you're coming down, you know, from the hip area, you know, I'm going to fucking stab you leaning forward. It's all about articulation. But, you know, when you dispatch to a call with, you know, and this is how you have to know your laws, but a burglary suspect there now, armed with a knife, even if it doesn't come out armed with a knife, burglary suspects are known to carry weapons. That's how they break into homes. Everything they possess is a weapon. So now knowing that, and now you see an object in his hand charging you, you've told him to drop it repeatedly, and now he's hopping fucking fences to get to you. And you're like, that's a fucking knife. He's not dropping it. Now he's coming after me.
Right.
Even if it turns out to be a pencil, you're in the good to go to shoot.
I'll ask the general. I'll ask the audience. I'll ask the general public at large, members of the jury, mesdames et messieurs. Were you going to take the chance that this guy's going to give you a hug? Right?
An angry hug.
Is this rational behavior to you? When somebody says, drop the knife or I'll shoot, and then you run towards them, hopping a fence in an angry, aggressive manner? Is that how you treat an attack dog? Like a dog that's growling and snarling and it's got his hackles up? Do you charge at it and expect it not to bite the shit out of you?
No.
Right. So
you smack in the head with the closest fucking object you can get and run the fuck away.
Yeah. So here's what I'm getting at on our comments thread. Isaac says, I want to know if a taser would have worked the same. No, Taser would not have put holes in him and made him bleed.
And if you miss, you're fucked. If you miss, you're fucked.
Yeah. Well, so
and
here's
both darts have to hit.
Tasers, you get one shot pretty much in this scenario, right? There may be other scenarios where you've got different tasers that have multi-shots, but in this scenario, I guarantee you're only getting one oh shit shot out, right?
Oh yeah.
And now here's the reason I picked our third video, and I think you could probably guess which one it is because of this comment, and we'll get to it later. So Isaac, I want to put a pin in that and say, yes, in theory, in a perfect world, if the stormtroopers had a blaster set for stun, they could have knocked Leia to the floor, right?
Right.
But this is not where we're at. We're at, this guy's a burglar,
dude,
jumping out of an apartment complex over a fence. Now,
someone, are you gonna read the one that they're like, why don't you shoot him in the leg?
Is that
read that one?
Is that under the same thread, or is it a separate comment?
Yeah, and then the guy came at me, said that I'm out of shape and fucking. I was like, you don't know me. I'll fuck you up, buddy.
Let's see. I don't
Definitely
see that.
Out of shape.
Let's see. All clear. Disregard their backup. Yeah, he won't be missed. Correct. FAFO. Correct. Nice takedown. One point though was the background safe. Hard to tell from the angle of the camera. These guys did everything else right, so probably safe to assume the background was clear. Nice work. I would say that background is safe enough. You have a reasonable expectation that you're going to be able to hit, and you're not going to. Yes. Could there be a child, a little small baby child, or a pregnant mother on the other side of one of those windows? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Is that a reasonable assumption? It's kind of a 50-50 assumption. So a 50-50 assumption, plus you're going to try to be accurate with your rounds. They're going to expect that if you're making the decision to shoot, you're competent enough. Now, if you're the guy who's barely qualifying and you're throwing rounds left and right, you're constantly being remediated at the range, and you take this shot and you wing around sideways and it kills the kid, you might take it in the short and curlies. If I qualified with badge, marksmanship badge. I was confident in my own abilities. I would be judged differently based on the fact that there's a reasonable expectation that I would have known how to make that shot, or Chuck would have had to make that shot, versus somebody who's got a terrible track record and knows they have a terrible track record. It was like, screw it, I'm gonna take the shot anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, if you keep going, I believe it's there. Keep looking.
What?
The shoot him in his leg. I just want you to read that masterpiece. It's fucking ridiculous.
Is it a long one?
No, the guy's just an idiot. It'll blow your mind at what he said. I thought he was joking.
Oh, here we go.
I thought he was joking.
Knife Mobile Bath is the name. Why pop off 5 or 6 bullets when 1, maybe 2 will do in the leg? He had plenty of time and space to react and back up. Just wondering, not mad at him. So you don't shoot
got mad at me.
You don't shoot people in the legs. Okay.
You shoot to stop the threat.
Yes. The legs, to really do damage to somebody, you have to destroy their legs so that they're mechanically incapacitated for them to not be able to reach you with a knife and kill you. That's just the way it is, right? The only trick shot in this case that would spare their life and still end the threat would be pulling off the hip shot, knife out of the hand, Old West gunfighter bullshit. And that ain't happening.
No, and the legs are a smaller target. Your midsection, the reason why we always aim for the midsection from the hip to the collarbone, that whole fucking area It's
Yeah.
all one big target. It's way easier to shoot that than it is to shoot an arm or a leg or a head.
And guess what?
You
Those
know,
people in the background you're worried about are going to benefit from the fact that you're willing to hit the bigger, meatier target than sending rounds trying to hit a moving target like the arm or the leg. And let me tell you, all I want you to do, just go take a helium balloon on a string on a windy day and try and hip shot it with a pistol.
Oh, yeah.
I dare you.
Yeah.
Actually, no, go take one of the long, like balloon animal, the long skinny ones. That's more like it. Try and hit that.
So all in all, I think these officers performed a flawless textbook takedown. Now, afterwards, when it came after, when you see the suspects down on the ground, you're going to have to make a call, you know, and if it's only you two there and you shoot someone and you need to get him, you know, medical aid, you know, you can always approach and be like, hey, this is our plan. We're going to approach. A lot of the times you guys at your agencies are like, we have to wait for more units. We have to wait for a supervisor. I'm like, you know, that motherfucker's down. All you have to do to be covered under your policy when you have to make an approach is you and your partner need to redeploy, talk about it for a second, formulate an opinion or formulated a solid plan and make your approach and execute it. And if you can articulate that we need to get this dude help and medical aid, and we are mitigating the risk to us, and we formulated our own plan, and now we're executing it, that will suffice all of the force investigation divisions, OIS review board, whoever the fuck your state's doing your investigation. As long as you articulate it and you hit all the boxes, you're golden, you're good. Stop worrying about it and waiting for, you know, more units to arrive, because as this day and age in law enforcement is changing, if you wait too fucking long, now you can hold yourself liable to a civil fucking suit because you didn't render aid immediately and you waited. Now, am I saying it's going to go there? No, but you need to protect yourself on all fronts. And if you're just afraid of your own department, just make sure you know the policy, make sure you know all the boxes, and fucking check when you get into a shooting and make your approach. Because if you let that dude die out and he dies and the family sees this shit, they're probably going to come after you and they're going to get millions of dollars. Now with the whole qualified immunity, you're golden. But if your state gets rid of qualified immunity, like Colorado, I believe, got rid of theirs or some part of it, and California has gotten rid of some part of it, you could actually be held civilly liable for that person's death. And you would have to be able to cover it if you don't have lawyers who will help you.
Now,
so keep that in mind.
I want to talk about these comments because Cortez by Cortez, right below the shoot him in the leg comment, says, how many times did these cowards shoot the man with a knife?
That's new. That's a new one.
No, you've responded to this one.
Oh, did I?
Taser wouldn't have worked. Cowards. Tuna Anut said, ever heard the saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight? Now you have. And so is he. And then you liked the comment. And then another guy named Austin Ray said, you've never witnessed true violence, and that statement made it incredibly evident. Cortez said back, ha ha ha, what makes me confident enough to make the statement I did is because of the true violence I've both seen and experienced in my life. USA Army vet who served overseas. For some reason I want to do this, the Tropic Thunder voice. USA Army vet.
Robert Downey Jr.
overseas.
The only
during the onset of the war. During the onset of the war in 03-04, amateur boxer, lifelong brawler. I'm a felon with a brief stint in prison under my belt. I've been shot once, stabbed on 3 different occasions, and been involved in easily 50+ street fights before turning 30. Let's talk again about what true violence is, and I'll confidently reaffirm my stance that you and these cops are cowards. You know,
did he write that all?
Oh yeah, all cops.
He's yelling.
And then Austin Ray said, you sound like a liar.
Dude, I love it.
You sound like a liar and a sociopath. You just bravadoed the fact you enjoy fighting and are a convicted felon. You're literally the reason we have cops. You sound like you need therapy. And then Cortez says, be that as it may, I'll sleep just fine tonight knowing that there wasn't a single exaggerated statement in anything I said. Good day, sir. He went full Willy Wonka.
Oh my gosh, that is fucking. I love the
following anything.
Liar.
Like he goes on. Like they argue. And
You sound like a liar.
it ends with Austin inviting. Oh, they worked it out. Austin says at the end, Cortez, bro, go walk into traffic. And Cortez says, Austin, hold my hand as I do. So you know what? They've made a suicide pact and they're friends now, which is how social media encounters like that should go.
Austin, you're a funny fuck, dude. I just love it. It's so nonchalant. Like, just go walk into traffic.
Just going into traffic.
I love it. That I don't know why that just gets me. That's funny. These people are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I posted that and I was like, nah, dude.
So
nah.
Yeah.
This is plain and simple.
I would, because of that,
I think I know which one you're gonna play.
A different one.
Like,
I didn't download this one, so I'm gonna have to screen share it. Let's see.
You want me to send it to you? I think I know exactly which one it is.
Let's see if I can get it.
And I have the video saved.
Yeah. So I'm gonna screen share.
Okay.
So here we go. So this video came up, and I honestly wish we could find the version that doesn't have the Bad Boys theme playing over it, because that's
I have it. I made that.
I know. I want to hear the version. I want to play it right here without the theme.
No,
I know you made that.
I have it.
And well, yeah, but I'm already here. You want to
okay?
Since we're here,
it's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Bad Boys.
Bad. Okay, so I want people to understand what they're coming out of the car. Code 3, contacting this guy in a carport with what looks like gravel driveway carport next to a house. Backdrop is 2 cars. Looks unoccupied. I think the guy came out of the white Jeep. Right? And he is wanted for armed robbery, potentially, and is supposedly armed with a gun. Okay. Cop 1 gets out, and he has his lethal out. He's got his handgun out with 2 hands on the handgun. Now, he's got a taser in one hand,
ooh,
and his gun in the other, and he fires the taser. Now, when I first saw that video, I went, "Oh, that's not good."
No.
Now, here's what I thought happened. Okay. Let's watch the video again, because now I'm thinking, guy gets his taser out in one hand, has his firearm out in the other. They tases the dude, and as he's tasing the dude and the guy seizes up, he sympathetic squeezes with his other hand and cranks off a round, which causes his partner to start shooting at the suspect. And then they both emptied into the suspect because he was assuming his partner saw something, not realize. I thought they were it was bad. Okay. Now watch it again and realize that he is armed. And when he gets tased, he rolls over onto his back, clutching the gun close to his chest, about ready to crank off rounds into the partner who's going to cuff him up. And that's when that partner backs up and starts dumping him. You can see him roll over. So, inside the car. Guy's got his hands in his pockets. He's got his hands in front of him now. Get on the gun arm, shit's ready. Approaches. Taser out right here. Now you watch as he rolls over. His hands come up out of his waistband. So, I mean,
ooh, I see a bunch of problems with it.
Yes. Now,
tactics leading.
Yes. So now here's the thing. What's my rule? Never allow a positive outcome to justify poor tactics and bad planning. Right? That you cannot walk away from an incident and go, yeah, bad guys 0, good guys 1, and because you came up with that score, justify all of your actions. That's why we debrief. And we look at every single stupid thing we did during the course of our police work, and we learn from it. Now, positive outcome, bad guy lost, good guys won. Okay, there's your positive outcome. Now let's talk about the ugly stuff in this video and why Isaac and others, we don't shoot people in the leg, or we don't tase people in a deadly force situation. We don't Like,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead. I know you have.
So,
thoughts. Go ahead.
yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this. I mean, at no point does your training unit, your tactics unit, your academy, anyone who's supposed to be training on a taser will train you to dual wield lethal and less than lethal.
Right.
Because you can squeeze the trigger, get scared, or you pull the trigger with your left hand, but you also pull the trigger with your right hand, and then next thing you know that you just shot someone. You are always trained to cross draw with your taser, you know, having an opposite side so you don't make this decision. So at no point should you be pulling out a gun and a taser at the same time. Just ask the San Francisco BART officer who fucking shot and killed someone and went to prison for it.
And they made a movie about it.
Yeah. So you should only have one out, and you should rely on your cover officer with the lethal to cover you.
Right.
Now, if you wouldn't have pulled your gun out, you would have tased him, and he turns and he produces a firearm, and then the shooting happens. Good to go. However, could you have not tased him because you know that if NMI works, it fucking locks up and your joints do whatever the fuck they're going to do without any inkling of your own brain making it do what it's supposed to? Because you don't have any control. Because if it works, neuromuscular incapacitation will lock you up and your arms will do weird shit, right? That's why they say don't tase someone with a knife, because if they fall forward onto the knife, they stab themselves. You're basically held liable because you now caused that person to stab themselves. Same thing with a firearm. You cause that person to turn and they pull up the firearm and they're like, I couldn't fucking stop myself because they just tased me, and you get shot. It's now basically could possibly fall back on the officer. So, I mean, you kind of got to know your policies and procedures. I would stick with a lethal, with lethal force, and have one less than lethal out. And if you have the opportunity to use it, I mean, he is walking away. You could have always kicked him right in the fucking spine, let him eat shit under the ground, and say, get the fuck on the ground. Well, so you can keep distance. And if you're going to tase him, you have 21 feet of rope. Tase him and hide behind the fucking car.
Right.
If you're going to go that route, and then tell him to drop the fucking the gun.
Yeah.
It's probably going to lead to a shooting if he's armed with a gun and it's out. Even if you tase him, it's probably going to lead to a shooting, because when he comes back to you after the 5 seconds and he's going to be like, fuck you, dude, he's going to probably shoot you. You have a 50-50 shot at it at that point, and those odds aren't good.
Yeah.
So
I, first of all, rule number
also
one,
partner officer. Oh.
if you're gonna have a taser out, right? Just have your taser out. I am all for. And what I loved though was clearly he keeps his taser on his left side strong hand draw, right? So it's a left hand draw and a right hand draw for his gun. Now,
right.
I personally think every cop in the world should carry with lethal on the right strong side, or I should say strong side lethal, non-dominant side or weak side,
right,
less lethal.
Absolutely.
If you're left-handed, have your gun on your left side and your taser on your right. If you're right-handed, have your gun on the right side and your taser on your left. Do not carry it cross draw. Do not carry it so that you are forced to use your dominant hand, your lethal force hand, to draw your taser and fire it. And B, so that if you're on your back, the suspect can draw it immediately to themselves out of the holster, because that's how they're meant to be drawn, is not cross draw, but they're meant to be drawn straight up so they can pull it straight towards them. Carry it like you're the Lone Ranger with a 2-gun rig. Okay, you got taser on one side, and you got your blaster on one side and your pistol on the other.
Yeah,
because you can transition. Don't. Uncle Thomas's Uncle Tom. I don't want to say that. Let's say.
I carry mine like
salty old
Doc
Tom,
Holliday.
salty old training officer's advice. Don't two-fist it, right? Because that's why I thought that we'd had the sympathetic squeeze. Yeah. You pull the trigger on the taser, there's a pop. It's a pop of a 22-ish.
Yeah, you might
pop, and you go and then your other finger goes pop because you fucked up, and you get your booger hook on the bang switch, and you forgot your high index, and now boop, they both go off. Now here's the thing: even if you don't shoot them with that negligent discharge, your partner hears a gunshot, and your partner goes, "Fuck! bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
Comes the suspect, and your partner now is firing because he thinks the suspect's firing at him. Your partner's in the clear. You're not. Your partner says, I heard a gunshot, and the man with a gun. I knew my partner was on Taser. I didn't think he would fire a lethal round because he was on Taser. So when I heard the gunshot, I thought it was a suspect.
Exactly.
I saw his hands with something, and I fired. He's clear. The guy with the Taser, not so clear.
Yeah. You also need to give a warning too.
Taser, taser, taser.
Hey, I'm going to tase you. It's going to hurt and or kill you.
Well,
Because it's less than lethal doesn't mean it's non-lethal, right? You have a heart condition, you get tased, you can fucking have a heart attack. So you have to tell these things prior, right? That way it also alerts your partner, I have a fucking taser out. That way when you go and pull that thing and you hear that pop, it covers you if he pulls that fucking trigger.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't give that warning and you pull it, now it falls on you. He's in the clear. So there's things that you need to be doing and thinking about. In the end of the day, is this going to be a good shooting? Yes. Are these officers going to get indicted? No.
No.
Are there things that they're going to get fucking hammered on and get retrained on and possibly could take days for?
There are things that they did that could have turned a good shooting into a bad one.
Yes.
The partner officer crossing the plane, and
dude,
he could have gotten shot in the back so easily.
Oh,
like,
my God, yes.
There are so many. Oh, yeah. Sunzu, see you Monday. It's date night with the girlfriend. All right. See you. Have fun. Tell her hi from us. Okay. So I thought maybe we could end our debrief with a fun one. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about?
No, I got that one because you gave too many hints away. I don't know what the one you're talking about.
Okay. This happens so often. And people talk about, like, that's why that video was like End of Watch, right? And this video is like Super Troopers, which is why I tell people the most realistic cop movie is a combination between Super Troopers and End of Watch. Here we go.
And isn't that the truth?
And I want to. Why'd you get on me like that?
26 headquarters. It's a female. All right, step out.
So this.
How much you have to drink there?
2 doubles.
2 doubles of what?
Patron.
Okay. So you are. Stay in the car. Stay in the car.
Okay, I understand.
In the car. Put your leg in the car.
Listen.
You're so annoyed.
Put your leg in the car.
You fool.
I love it.
It's my leg.
Okay, this is the part at which it is so mind-boggling. Drunk girls think they can get away with anything.
Play the next one. Play the next one of her. Oh my God, dude.
Here we go.
Get your foot in the car. Just stop. What is your name?
Their feet in the car.
Grace.
Grace.
3 doubles.
3 doubles?
2 doubles.
All right. So 6.
You had 6 drinks?
6 drinks of Patron.
That's why it smells
With a
like that.
lime.
3 doubles.
With a lime too?
A lime? Sir, that works in my club because I'm a stripper. So at least 7 different officers want to report me as because I want to sleep with them. I'll in your face. Only if you like it, though. That's the only question. For real. No, you wouldn't let me go. I couldn't hold it.
By the way, this is proof that the ghetto is the ghetto. This girl is white.
Yeah.
This girl is white. Like, you can say whatever you want. This girl is a white girl, and she is from the ghetto. There is a way that people from the ghetto, people who listen to this show long enough will know, it's the South. It's always the South End, right?
Yeah.
It is that. It's the same as like when you get up to the Appalachians, and all of a sudden the language changes, and it's not Southern accent. It becomes like
it's like mountain accent,
right? Mountain. Like,
okay.
And
her what?
She sounds like the Catch Me Outside girl.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shoes.
You
No.
know what she reminds me of, though? She reminds me of a teacher that was sleeping in the junior high
I
school.
couldn't hold it.
Door 22, please.
What's your name? Logan? You look like a Logan. Okay, and I want to.
Okay, so that's the first one. Get her to the jail. Once they get her to the jail, boys.
You want to taste me?
No.
Do it.
Stay in the
I
blue
like
box.
Okay, there's a debate on social media. Is she saying tase me or taste me? Okay, here you go.
I like it kinky.
Stay in.
You You want to tase me?
No.
Do it.
Stay in the blue box.
I like it kinky.
Stay.
You want to
Hold
tase
on,
me?
play
No.
Do
I can't tell. Play it again.
it.
Stay in the blue box.
I like it kinky.
Stay.
You want to tase me?
No.
Do it.
Stay.
Like it's hard to tell.
I think it's Taze.
I think it's Taze too.
I think it's Taze. Right? She's trying everything she can to flirt with Officer Logan.
How many cops? I think I posted this when I said we've all had this person
Right.
maybe multiple times, and we all know as law enforcement like what these calls. They're fucking ridiculous. They're crazy.
Right.
Do they hit on you? Yes. Do they try to grope you and grab you? Yes. And it reminded me of a call that I was on that I basically responded as backup or an additional unit to help out these officers with a 5150, and she would only speak to me.
Mhm.
And she was acting like super she was super sexually aggressive towards me. No one else. And we wanted to beef everybody, and then would make us ask for
that's a specific type.
and then she would be like, you need to ask for consent to touch me. And I was like, do I have your consent to touch you? And she's like, yes, you have my consent to do whatever you want to me. Yeah. And then I had to carry her outside because she wouldn't go on the stretcher because we were putting her on a 5150 hold. And then the female officer, I was like, hey, the P3 in this female, or the training officer in his female, I was like, hey, get your female boot probationer to take her outside. I don't want to touch her. I don't need a beef. And he's like, dude, she won't fucking go with anyone else but you. She's asking for you by name. And I was like, fuck. So I walked back in and I'm like, all right, can I have permission to touch you? She's like, you have permission to fucking like super. I can't say it because my kid's right here watching me, but super sexually aggressive. And it caused me to laugh and like just blush because I didn't want to get in trouble, because that's a serious beef if you get a sex beef. And I was like, okay. And I was walking downstairs blading myself. As I'm walking, she stopped walking. And I was like, hey, you gotta go. Like, pick it the fuck up. I gotta carry you down these stairs. Like, I don't want to have to carry you. She's like, I'm not moving. You're gonna have to like manhandle me. And I was like, fuck it. Okay. So I literally picked her up by both shoulders off the ground and walked her down the stairs, got to one flat. As I sat her down, both of her hands, which were behind her body, are now lower than me. She grabs me from behind in my nether regions and locks her fucking hands on me.
Yeah,
I was like, get the fuck off.
Adam, one of the guys we've had on this show, he had a gal. She tickled the palms of his hands as he was handcuffing her. Like, you know how you would like tickle
just spit beer
your finger and tickle somebody's palm in like junior high? She's literally tickling the palm of his hand while he's putting the handcuffs. And he looks at me, he's like, ew. And I'm like, what? He's like, she's fucking tickling my palm. And she's like, what's up?
I love it, dude. I love it, dude. I love it. I've had money thrown at me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Fucking
True story. I
$dollar
don't
bills.
know that I've ever told this story on the podcast. True story. So it was one of the rare occasions where I worked. If I had to work day shift, I tried to work weekend day shift, because weekend day shift, you could like do fun shit, right? There were people out, right? You could like weekday day shift, everybody's at work, and the only people you were dealing with were victims of like, I left my car unlocked and my iPod got stolen, right? That's how long ago I was a cop. They had iPods. Anyway,
Before it was your phone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, we would always have to deal with the weekend, like the weekend calls, and the weekend calls always get a little weird. Like somebody at the park watching soccer practice, giving handies under the jacket to like their.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we would always get weird shit like that. And so we had this one gal, and I told the story about the gal who was like at the gas station, and she was drunk and she was showing her nether regions over the radio. Those are the kind of calls that we would always get. So finally we get dispatched. Well, again, I wasn't there. Okay. We get officers that were sent to this. I show up on the weekend and they say, yeah, we went to a domestic. And I said, what's up? And they're like, well, we don't know how to file it. And I said, why? And it said, well, so they separated the couple and they interviewed the man, they interviewed the woman, and the man says, no, that's that my sister comes in and she starts bitching to me because we got to find a new place to live because we have to move out. And so when she was complaining at me, I've been working all night and I'm trying to get some sleep. And so I kicked her to get out of my room. And now she called you guys because I kicked her in the knee to get her the fuck out of my room. So they go, primary officer goes talk to the cover officer who interviewed the other half. And the woman goes, gives her statement. They meet back up. She says, okay, so clear cut domestic. And the other one, the officer who's dispatched the call goes, what are you talking about? No, it isn't. She goes, yeah, well, she says, her husband, they're supposed to be moving out and they've got like a month to find a place. And
whoa, hold on. I'm paying attention.
She says she comes in and he won't get out of bed because he has to look for a place because they've got to find a new place to live. And she said, yeah, but that's his sister. And the other officer says, no. That's his wife. And he's like, okay, we clearly mixed this shit up. So they go back to the female and they go, hey, so you guys are married, right? And the female goes, well, not like we never legally got married, but we've been living together for like 7 years in a relationship. So like common law marriage, but we never actually had the ceremony. And the primary officer says, okay, because he's saying that you're his sister. And she looks at the officers and goes, oh my God, does everybody have to know our private business?
What the fuck? Incestual feelings.
And they come to me and they're like, what do we, I'm like, are you filing it as incest? And they're like, I mean, we're filing it as both. Like
regardless, it's 273.
273.5 doesn't say illegal sexual relationships. It just says sexual
Wait, hold on. Because so it's a misdemeanor. It's 243E1 because there's it's just
mark, like they could have charged.
Okay, so then they can file it that way because then it's kind of like, well, if you're sisters, but it's no mark, it's kind of like, But if there's marks,
right?
It's okay, so it's legit. So I guess 273.5. You're fucked, buddy.
I mean, so weird and so gross.
Yeah, because like they always say, if like two brothers fight or two sisters fight, right?
Yeah,
and they don't leave marks, it's kind of like they're siblings, right?
So when we start talking about weird people doing shit like this, like saying tase me or taste me, like that shit happens. Like, fuck it, we had a killer confess to a murder by walking into our station on a Sunday morning after church and asking to speak to a detective. And then when the detective came out, he handed him the murder weapon and said, I just bashed my wife's brains in with a hammer. You should probably go check on her. Like
okay, fuck, dude.
Like and turns out he had bashed her brains in because his grandson or a step grandson had come out of the closet to them. And they had been to church that Easter, and the pastor had talked about making sacrifices to atone for sin. And so he felt like killing his wife would be a sacrifice to atone for the sin of their grandkid being gay.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
He must have been Catholic.
Dude, there could have been all kinds of different versions of things that.
Oh my God, that's fucking wild.
So,
I just know Catholicism, like you repent for your sins. Christianity, it's kind of like, hey, you're gonna fuck up.
Well,
is what it is.
You're supposed to repent. You just don't have to do it to a priest. I mean,
oh, so I never got that deep. I'm Catholic. That was so weird.
I know this is worse.
I know
that was too good to pass up. If I said, you have to confess. You just don't have to do it to a priest.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So, hey, are we gonna start dedicating our live episodes to people?
I mean, we fucking can. I think a lot of the fans really like these, and I think it's a good thing to always dedicate things to fallen officers of brothers and sisters and fallen fire and military and stuff like that.
How about this?
So we can.
When we have listeners send in dedications. We will do listener dedications on our live debriefs.
Okay, that works. Yeah.
So we'll let the guests bring somebody, or we'll pick somebody for the guest interviews. And if you guys like these more, we may start doing these more, and we'll make the guest episodes. We can do live episodes on the weekends where we watch a video or two. And then if we can get a guest that'll go live, we'll go live with a guest. And then if we get guests that don't want to have their face seen, we'll just air that episode audio only on YouTube, and Chuck and I can take a break and get some beauty sleep. Oh, look, I have a guest in studio right there, the cat. You can see him poking his head out the window right below me. Still right here. Like, he's right there. No, he's gone now.
There's a cat in your room?
There was, yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Is he black?
He's gray. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, so he's dark, so I can, I can see it, man.
All right. Well, I think people found us. People popped in and out. We had some comments.
Yeah.
I want to say it's fun. We could even show. We could have an experiment. Let's have an experiment, Chuck. In our last meeting, we're going to have an experiment. I'm going to share. Let's see if I can. Nope. I'm trying to open this video that was sent to us on our DMs from a listener, and I'm trying to play it so that we could have like listener sent in videos on our show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But it won't pop open, and I can't. So if it was posted on a page, it would probably pop open to that page, but it looks like it was sent as an embedded video. So I can't bring this up. So we'll figure something else out.
Got it.
Awesome. I think this went well. Did you guys have fun?
I think it's good.
We'll have to find a way to announce these, because I don't think this is going to be anything where we can do a regular schedule. I think it's just going to have to be follow us. So how do they follow us, Chuck, so they can know when we go live?
So if you follow us and like us on Instagram, Facebook, our Instagram is @war_stories and _official. So @war_stories_official, and our Facebook @war_stories_podcast. If you already follow us, please share and like our post, right? Because then you can know what the hell is going on. We can post it in the stories, whatever, and we can let you know a day or two or an hour or a couple hours before we go on, because sometimes we aren't feeling well, or we're sick, or something happens, and we kind of have to play it off the cuff, play by ear. And then another way to support us is going to our website at www.warstoriesofficial.com. Grab some of our merch and some of our gear. We are going to be changing and adding a shit ton more stuff for Locker Room and War Story, so please stay tuned. Things are a little bit slow right now with getting packages out. I was sick for the last week. I didn't want to get the package out. I'm really sorry for you. I will throw something in good for you, maybe something that we don't have anymore and it's limited. I'll fill your bag up with some good shit and get that out to you. Sorry for the delay. But we are going to be reworking it, and there's going to be a lot more shit: mugs, glasses, things to get drunk out of, shirts, whatever you can think of. We'll freaking have it. So follow us there. Follow us on our Instagram. Follow us on our Facebook. Go to the link in our bio if you want to reach everything. And if you think you have a story to share, you want to bring on a friend, or you are, in law enforcement, corrections, fire, dispatch, medic, any of that, go to our booking email. It's booking.warstories@gmail.com. Again, that is booking.warstories@gmail.com. I can get you booked. Send us your stuff in. Again, thank you for the support and stay safe.
We can put that on a button, like how we have it.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Button where with all that information. By the way, so we got this comment from Ash Hole, and so I wanted to say that yes, having us a live show
this is a surprise, Clark. This is just a real nice surprise. Just a real nice surprise.
So yes, it was a real nice surprise, and we will try to do these nice surprises a little bit more. We have gotten feedback that this is the direction that the show could transition to more, and people would really like it. I've been told people really like when we do the videos. It's fun for us. Like, it's easy, we just this is the way we talk shit about it in text message to each other when we send them to each other. So we just save our shit talking and talk about it here.
Yeah. And then if you guys see something, and you always just send it in. If you fuck up and you're like, I don't remember the email, and you just forgot about where the link is in our bio on Instagram and Facebook, just fucking DM it. I'll pull it off. I'll save it. I'll screen grab your request to have it read. Sometimes you're on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and you just tag us and go, hey, check this out. And if it's good enough, I'll get on there. Tom will get on there. We'll respond. We'll do a debrief on that, and we'll answer your question in the next one. And that works well. You can also, you have a story that you think or thing you want us to debrief, let us know, and we'll handle it.
Exactly. And we're still figuring out, some of this live music works, some of it doesn't. So sometimes there's music and sometimes there isn't. So we're figuring all that stuff out, but I think it's going well. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And until the next episode, come home with your shield. This is the
end it.
And we end it.